Hello, welcome to another Talking Hands video. Today I just want to show you some tips and tricks about doing like a fuse strip on the new Springfield Kuna. Of course, this is it's a 9mm pistol caliber carbine. It's like a roller delayed system, which is the thing that I want to show you some things about because it's is a little bit different than a typical blowback action. And there's like a little trick that I learned from taking this apart and cleaning it and putting it back together that I just want to show to make it a little bit easier for anybody who's kind of might get confused about it. Of course, it's clear. Okay, so a little something about the firearm itself. It's a pretty new firearm from Springfield-Armory. Is imported by HS from HS Produkt. Excuse me. So it's actually developed by HS Produkt and is imported in by Springfield-Armory, and that's how we were able to get it here in the States. That's a company in Croatia. They make firearms for military and police contracts. So they're very experienced in making very high quality firearms and very reliable firearms at the same time. So I actually really trust a lot of their products. This comes with the brace. You can of course do the SBR and if you like. It has a flat face trigger, which after shooting it, I would say it's a pretty good trigger. It's definitely better than like a Scorpion trigger, but I wouldn't say it's as good as like a Geisley AR-15 trigger or anything like that. I would say it's slightly heavier than that, but while you're shooting it though, it's actually very nice. So I actually really like it so far. I'm currently in the middle of trying to get it up to 1,000 rounds to see if it has any kind of malfunction. So far I got like maybe 600 through it and has no problem so far. So anyway, so to go through how to take it apart is very easy because this was developed for military contracts. So that they make it so that it's very simple to take it apart without any tools. Kind of similar in that there's two takedown pins on the back and the front. And so basically from the right side of the firearm, you'll see them here. So you basically just push that and it's captured. So when you pull it out from the other side, it's not gonna just fall out and you're gonna lose it. And then from there you can tilt this down, but just gonna show you just taking it completely off. So I'm just gonna pop the other side as well. So I'm gonna also pull that, and this whole firing unit comes right off. Now this part here is polymer, so it's actually very, very light. It has all the fire controls all in there and everything like that. But this upper, this is actually all metal, so and it's quite dirty. I'm trying to do my 1,000 round test without cleaning it, so you're gonna see my hands turn all black from doing this. So from here, after you've taken that out, this whole back section basically starts to, you can kind of like pull it down, and once you have it down like just a little bit, you see, okay, hold on, let me show you on the camera. Okay, see, that's kind of like the way it's fully seated. You get it down maybe like that much. All right, hope you can see it here. Down to like right there. Okay, you see that it starts to come apart. So from there, just take that straight out and you can put that aside. And from here, basically this is all free now. Easiest way to get it out is just to actually just use the charging handle, put your hand behind it so this doesn't fly out and you lose all the parts, and just pull that back. See, now that's out. Take this out. This is the spring, and then that's the kind of the plug in the back. Put that aside. And then now this is the whole bolt assembly here. Now, to explain my little trick and what I'm actually doing here, and it's kind of hard to see on a camera, I'll first explain what the roller delayed system is. You hear them advertise that it's a roller delayed system. What that is that usually when the bolt is in, usually when the bolt is completely in battery and you're ready to fire it around, if you don't have a system that delays the recoiling of the bolt face can basically start extracting that round before all the pressure, before the bullet leaves the muzzle. So there's still going to be a lot of pressure in the barrel, and then that pressure can come back and basically blow out the casing. So there needs to be something that will kind of keep the bolt in battery long enough until the bullet leaves the barrel, so that there's a place for all that pressure to exit that system before the bolt starts extracting that round. Now, typically in a 9mm PCC, that's just called direct blowback, which most of them are. It's just a direct blowback system. The way that they do that is just by inertia, so basically they'll have a bolt that's heavy enough so that it takes that time for those rear forces to blow it back. So that's why they call it a blowback system. The problem with that system is that since it requires the weight of the bolt carrier group to be heavy enough to not go back too soon because of the inertia, what happens is then the recoil, forces of that heavy bolt moving back and forth will basically give you a more heavy felt recoil, right? So some companies like H&K and I don't know, can't really think of anything off the top of my head right now. A lot of companies. So I'm just having a brain fart. It's not just H&K, but there's a lot of different systems to mitigate that. CMMG is another one. They have a system called a radial delayed system. So that one, the bolt has to rotate before it unlocks and allows it to move backwards. Kind of similar to like an AR-15 system where they have the locking lugs that has to rotate out. So that's how CMMG does it. H&K and Springfield/HS Produkt, they're using something called a roller delayed blowback system. So the way that works is that there are these rollers here. You see these metal rollers here, and that provides a downward pressure that goes against these rails that ride on the top and inside of the receiver. And up here is a weight, and this weight kind of I hope this thing shows. But as you push the weight forward, you see how it allows the rollers to go in, and when the weight is out, it pushes it out. So basically that rearward movement will pull this weight forward, which would then in turn push these rollers out against those rails on the inside. And then that friction basically delays the rearward motion of this long enough for it to safely fire. But at the same time, without requiring this to be super heavy, this could be lighter. So then that means the felt recoil you get from this object moving back towards you is lighter than you get with a PCC that's direct blowback. I hope that explanation is adequate. So H&K has a similar system. Theirs is a little bit more complex and is a little bit better than this, to be honest. The felt recoil of this, I would say, is like a smidgen more than like firing like an MP5, but it's definitely less than a direct blowback. So it's kind of like right in between. And for the price point, it's definitely like a really good deal to get a blowback system. Not blowback, a roller delay system, even if it's not quite as good as the H&K system on this for much less in price. Of course, there are clones and other companies that make, you know, MP5 like clones that uses their roller delay system. I mean, yeah, their roller delay system for about the same price it is. But I don't know. I feel like if I'm gonna get an MP5, I want to get like one from H&K, which is going to cost a lot of money. So this is actually like a very good compromise. So basically, once you have this all out, you know, you do your cleaning. You can take this apart further, but this is not really that in-depth of a video. I just want to show you, field stripping. You could, you know, clean the bolt carrier group here, and I want to show you a little trick when you're putting this back in, because I think if you've taken this apart and tried to put it back in, sometimes you notice, you know, that those rollers kind of hit those rails I was talking about, and it's hard to get this thing back in. So don't try to force it in. Remember when I showed you that pushing this in will allow these rollers to kind of retract. I really hope this shows on the video. But like, so basically that's what you would use when you're putting this back. After you get to that point where it hits those rollers, push in on that weight, and then that will allow those rollers to clear that space. And then once you get it like on the actual rollers, it just basically, you can just slide it the rest of the way. We can just take probably take the whole spring thing to push it the rest of the way. So yeah, you just take the spring. There's like a little hole in the back of the bolt carrier group where the spring and guide rod goes into, and you can just push that all the way until it's, you know, seated all the way, which is basically just a little bit of space there. And then the reassembly is the exact opposite of your disassembly. You take this back part, and you'll see like this shape here and this shape. You just kind of match it up and just push that in, and then slide it up once you have it pushed in like that. All right, and once you have it slid up, that's kind of locked into place. Make sure that this pin is still out, of course, because if that pin is in there, you won't be able to do that. And just go ahead and line those up. Push in the front takedown pin first, push in the rear one, and then go ahead and do a functions check. Make sure this moves freely. Put it on safe, make sure that it doesn't fire. Take it off safe, press the trigger and hold it. Cycle it back, let it go forward, let go of the trigger, you hear it reset, and then fire it again. So that's basically a function check. So yeah, that's basically it. It's how you just quickly field strip the firearm and put it back together. And yeah, after I'm done shooting the 1,000 rounds, you know, I'll do another video to, you know, let you know if I experience any malfunctions or not. Like I said, right now I'm up to 600. I know it's like I should be way more than 1,000 by now, but I haven't really had too many opportunities to go to the range. I've only taken this thing out a few times, and the ammo cost is so expensive, so I just shoot a few hundred rounds each time, you know. But we'll get to 1,000 without cleaning, and I'll let you know how it goes. But so far, no problems. So far, it shoots really nice. I really like it. And then the optic on there, that's a Aimpoint Acro. And just so you know, if you want to get the Acro to line so that you can coat witness with the built-in iron sights, the mounts that you normally get them in, they're like 39 millimeters from base to center. That's actually too high. This one is the 30 millimeter mount from Aimpoint, and with this one, you can co-witness the bottom 1/3 through the sight. So just so you know, you can have an optic and not, you know, make your backup iron sights completely useless. If the optic is too high up, you won't be able to use them. So that's FYI. 30 millimeter is the magic number that I've found that works really well. But yeah, so I hope you found this video useful. And if you do end up getting one of these, you know, let me know in the comments how you like it. Or if you have any questions or any kind of recommendations for a future video on the Springfield Kuna, you know, let me know. And I'll definitely do my best to get that out for you, right? All right, well, anyway, be safe out there, and thank you for watching.